Alrighty, yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my VTuber gamers chat? I haven't been saying my intro in a long time. I just realized that. Mostly because I recorded like a lot of my videos on stream, but still. A big news coming out of Hololive or Cover Corp with Holostars, right? So, if you guys don't know, Holostars is the male branch of Hololive, right? This is where the boys are, you know, because they do have male VTubers despite not really seeing them front and center, other than like the few times they appear on like one of the Hololivers streams, right? And then, you know, 4chan will go crazy and people will go crazy on that. It happens, right? So we're gonna read this because there are noticeable changes to be made for Holostars management structure. Here we go. Since the launch in 2019, Holostars have been active for almost 7 years, with the debuts of first, second, and third gen following by uproar. It has grown to a group of 12 currently active members. Wait, there's only 12 members in Holostars? What? Wait, really? Well, damn, brother. No wonder you. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of need to get those numbers up, right? But I mean, I guess I understand why they don't, right? Because I mean, they have this where they have this change to Holostars, right? So I guess it makes sense why they didn't debut anymore. Anyways, over the course of 7 years, their activities went beyond streaming and YouTube. They joined events, exhibitions, collaborations, and live shows on the site. However, the current state of Holostars business has forced us as a company to have repeated discussions about how to maintain Holostars in a sustainable manner. The boys are bleeding money, I guess. Which, I can't say I'm really surprised though, right? Because there's always the meme of, can you name 5 male VTubers? And I know this because obviously it affects me, right? I'm a male VTuber. You know, the stuff that I talk about and things like that, would I have blown up faster if I was a female? I mean, the reality is yes, I would have, right? But it's not really gonna stop me, right? And I think it won't. Honestly, I feel like it won't stop the boys in Holostars either, right? I think they're hopefully keeping a positive attitude because this does suck, right? We consider the future direction of the group's activities from various perspectives. Ultimately, we have arrived at the conclusion that changing the management structure in the way it fits current Holostars activities is unavoidable. As a result, the company-led activities of the group, which have progressed alongside the individual activities of each talent, will be coming to a close. What does that mean? Company-led activities of the group. Is this like shows and, I don't know, performances, events, and things like that? I guess that's what that means, right? So they're probably gonna have like individual people do stuff, but no more like whole group stuff. Man, that sucks, dude. That really sucks. From this fiscal year onward, oh wow, activity policies will shift mainly to focus on individual activities. Moreover, as well, will reallocate certain resources. Some of our support will be limited and or conclude entirely. The structural changes will mainly affect company-led projects and initiatives. That makes sense. Talent streams conducted in company studios? What? Wait, why would this stop? Am I confused? Chat, they own the studio. You don't have to pay people to have on the studio. That's I don't get that. Like, that's your studio. You're not renting out a space. That's your space. You can kind of, I don't know. All types of new merchandise releases, including anniversary items. That blows. That sucks. That's kind of like the worst part about this is now it feels like they can't even make money, right? How are they gonna make money without the merchandise stuff? Maybe, okay, here's the thing. If they are able to make their own, right, because it said this is company-led stuff, so if they themselves are able to make their own, I think that should be fine. But if they can't even go out on their own and look for their own, like say if one of them wants to get a gamer subs, what's it called, sponsorship, That would suck if they're being barred from that from Hololive, right? Now, I don't know if they do that. I haven't seen their contract, but like going to Uwu Market on their own should be fine, right? If they're gonna cut out their whole way of making money, unless they just like want to straight up not let them have any more money. That I don't know what that is. Production and release of original songs? Really? Huh. I get what? Really? No more music from the Holostars? I guess from the company led, yeah, sure. That sucks, dude. Wait, what can they even do? They could stream, I guess. Company led music. Okay, so as someone who I have produced music in the past, you don't need a studio. Like if I wanted to record a song, I could do it right now just in my room because I know how to do that stuff. But man, again, do they not have a studio in like the Cover Corp office? Am I just too? Well, I guess it's an what? No, it is. It's an idol company, so they should have stuff like this in there, right? Unless they just rent out a studio or something, but that wouldn't make sense. You guys have the money to make a studio in your own office. You have an office. I don't know. I don't like that. That sucks, dude. Meanwhile, with this new structure, we will continue to provide necessary, appropriate environment and support for each talent to pursue their activities in line with the aforementioned policies. Wait, so we will... Okay, I guess. We are in discussion with each talent regarding the activities going forward, respect to their wishes. Man, they're going to play favorites. That's what they're going to do. That's what it feels like. Please understand these changes are made as an executive decision aiming to optimize the overall business. But here's the thing, right? I'll put it like this. Genshin Impact can sustain what's it called? Honkai Gakken and Tears of Themis alone. Zenless Zone Zero probably could. Those games never have to go EOS because of their moneymaker making money. I don't know why this stuff has to happen for the Hollow Boys. You're a billion-dollar company. The girls will make it up. And I know it sucks, right? It's kind of like a NBA. It's kind of like a NBA and WNBA situation. One sustains. One has to. The only reason why one of them is alive is because the other. But still, that's. I feel like they should be fine to cover all those costs. No, it's like a billion-dollar company. That's not a little bit of amount of money. Hold on, let me look at some of these reactions with Parrot. Parrot here being like, just like I said in my latest video, unless you do boyfriend experience and look like this, loving deep dick, being a male VTuber is just a huge downgrade for female VTubers. The audience just doesn't exist otherwise. Yeah. I don't look like that, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I mean, I guess. As a male myself, of course, I'd wish for it to be otherwise. It would be a big variety of my YouTube content too, but we can't change reality. I mean, that's just the thing, right? A lot of VTubing content is geared towards men. And not to be like, oh, it's lonely men, but it's an idol thing. Idols, the female idols obviously sell more than the male idols. What are you going to do? Wag your finger in their face and be like, you have to spend money on this? No. Obviously, I myself will never tell you guys that you have to watch me and you have to give male VTubers a chance. Do you know why I would never do that? Because I don't do it. That's just reality. I don't watch male VTubers. In fact, there's a running joke in my Discord, which you can join in the description down below, that whenever someone posts anything about one of the Holostars or any of the male VTubers, I just immediately go, ugh, a man? Bro, get that man off my screen, right? And it's not even just that. It's like with gacha game characters as well. No one wants the male characters. No one wants the male VTubers. Now, there are so few big male VTubers, I can count them all in my hand while losing a few fingers and still having way more than enough to count for all of them, right? This is just a thing, right? Here, let me see what Depressed Nasagi says here, Cover Corp has decided to limit or stop company production or backing of Holostars, the project. They admit that it is due to Holostars as a brand not being financially sustainable, and by doing that, they hope to make it so. They will continue to support the individual projects and members. Yeah, they're definitely just going. Can't say I wasn't expecting it. A major brand of Holostars. Yeah, I mean, people just don't watch it, right? What can you really do? Cover states that decision was made on Holostars. Yeah, it's just this announcement comes after Cover Corp stock has seen a roughly 47% decline in the past year. And you know what? Now it makes sense. Now I understand. Now I see why they're doing this. Okay, chat. I have not a solution, but I have an idea. And some people might not like this take. Honestly, to have these boys find a home, I think Niji Sanji and Cover Corp or Hololive, whatever, Holostars, I think they need to make a trade, right? Obviously, Cover Corp can't sustain the boys, and what is it called? Niji Sanji can't sustain the girls. So what they should do is trade the Hollow boys for some of the Niji girls, right? Like Scarlet or something. Give because they're honestly, they are really good for the opposite one. I think more, that's just me. That's just my opinion. I feel like that would probably work. You know what I'm saying? Because the boys are just getting screwed over here. I don't know, man. It's hard to, it's just a weird thing to read about. But I guess like Rima said that they have a decline of roughly 47% over the year. I didn't even know that happened. I thought that this was like $1 billion company, so they should be able to sustain each other. But I mean, hopefully the boys get it. I hope the boys are okay. They get what they need. Chat, let me know how you guys feel. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.